Hello survivors and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to be ascending and testing out the Wanderer as a 6-star. Now he has been released in stash form, however if you've already got him you'll be able to ascend him if you've got him through the depot, or if you had him from a long time ago from events, from tournaments and stuff like that. I think he was a premier character once upon a time, probably too. We'll look at the stash at first, and as you can see, if you do the 330 pulls, which will cost you like just under 22,000 coins, so a lot of coins, but you'll be guaranteed the Wanderer, and you'll also be guaranteed 1 pull on the Lucky Wheel, so 2 ascendable 5 stars, potentially a 6-star on the Lucky Wheel as well. You get a lot of gear. I think a lot of this stuff is going to be for the Wanderer. It actually seems like a lot of random gear. Probably not enough stuff here to actually get Wanderer to maxed out, but there is some Cantina GPS in there. So there is the premium gear in here. There are some trainers and stuff, but you get 2 5-star ascendables guaranteed. So I think that's equivalent of 2.5 big pulls on the Premier Wheel. So it's up to you, or you can just wait for him to come up in your ascendance. In your supply depot. What we are going to do, we are going to send the one I've got already. As you can see, I've got him maxed out. I managed to get him supply depot a couple of weeks ago. This is unfortunately my Medi region. He does look pretty badass as a 6-star. Look at that. We'll see what his thumbnail art is going to be. That's going to be awesome. I'm going to be using a lot of duplicates here, so don't be too distraught at who I use. I'm mainly going to be using dupes, basically characters that I already have, and I think that's it. Is that all I need? I need 2 more. Okay, who else is a dupe? This Rick is a dupe as well. Oh, this Negan, he's definitely a dupe. That's it. That's all I need. Okay, so we are going to ascend, and what I'll do is I'll skip forward. I'll max him out to maxed out tier 1, probably only tier 1 because I don't have enough night vision goggles to get him to tier 2 just yet. And then I'll give him a quick test, and we'll look at his stats once we ascend here. We do get to see him in final form. Kaboom! Tier 1, he looks pretty cool. So if we look at his rush, you can see it's 66 AP, 275% damage to up to 3 enemies. All alert and strong enemies get minus 60% attack and minus 60% defense for 2 turns. In terms of the debuff, that's actually pretty good. It's a 2-turn debuff, but it is of course only to alerts and strongs. But I mean, you can take this in against a Carl team. This is really good against a Carl team, spectacular against a Carl team, because Carl teams are mega tanky as it is. So this is where, I think that's where it's going to come into his main use, is against Carl teams. His active skill is elusive and heal. This character gets elusive for 2 turns and regains up to 20% of their max HP. I'm not really sure of how useful this is going to be. I'm not going to raise the active skill too much. I'm going to see how it goes. Most of the active skills aren't like spectacular, especially if they're not cleanses. If they're a cleanse, like if it was like a remove stun or a remove impair or something like this, remove confuse, they're always good because they generally are always going to be used to remove what they are meant to remove. That whereas this, he could elusive and heal when he doesn't really need to. But yeah, so we're going to check him out. I'm going to max him out to tier 1. I'll get his rush up as well because I have got quite a few Aidens in the list waiting, and we'll get some gameplay in. I'll just look at his thumbnail first. So here's my 4th ranged character, but I haven't been his thumbnail is pretty cool. This thumbnail is pretty cool. I haven't been raising the rushes on my characters who are ranged. I'm just slowly getting them there with scav missions. I'm going to obviously raise his. So I have got the characters. I need 9. We'll let you see this bit because this is the only fun bit of leveling up a character. Is using the trainers to get the rush up. It's fun. 1 rush increase, yay! 100% chance. That's great. There we go. So we're gonna get 30 levels as well, and it is 60 levels for tier 1. So there we go. Rush plus 9. And it is a 66 AP rush, so it is actually pretty quick. Even off the bat, 78, it's already quick. So you don't have to. Well, I didn't actually check about the tiers. Well, we can check it out now. What do you get? Minus 30%. Oh, you get minus 50%, plus 50%. Okay, you kind of have to max it out. I would say you kind of have to max it out. The minus 30% attack on top, at the bottom is really important. And obviously you're going to get much faster as well. So I'm going to, like I say, I'm going to max him out and do a little bit of gameplay. So I have maxed him out at tier 1, as you can see. I have also You know, got a couple of range characters on this region. Nothing spectacular. Their rushes aren't super great. So I'm going to take Glenn just to be able to command these guys. I haven't got Sadiq. But this should give you a reasonable idea of how the Wanderer is at tier 1. This is mainly a melee region for me. As you can see, all my melee characters that are tier 4 and stuff are all up there. But my range region, my range characters, I've only ascended range characters in the last 2 weeks. But getting a decent-ish team together now. So I'm fairly happy. So I'm going to come up against this Carl team. I'm going to mainly look to command the Wanderer. However, I think the synergy between the Wanderer and Mirabelle would be really good. You know, you hit Wanderer's rush first, and then you do Mirabelle's. It's going to be just epic, basically. And then whoever's left, you clean up with Dwight. That's how I think it's going to go. It'll be like rush, 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 and then clean up. Rush, 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 clean up. Especially against these sort of teams. Now I can come up against some yellows here, and Dwight can get absolutely massacred. So we'll see how it goes. Yes, we will go. We will go. So there are going to be some yellows. I've got a couple of stun guns. No one gets stunned. Okay. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, so we are gonna rush here. Oh, we're not. He has confirmed. Not going to be able to rush. It will be the next turn. But his rush will go off with Laurie, which isn't too bad. Oh no, it won't. Let's have a little look. It'll be pretty reasonable, the amount of damage that comes up afterwards. Not too bad. Not too bad. And this damage should be quite heavily nerfed. Yeah, look at that. 200 damage on these rushes. That's going to be massive. You know, Dwight's just managed to survive this. And that was tier 4s. Those were tier 4s. And I've got tier 1 characters right now. I've got reasonable weapons. Okay, we'll try against another Carl team. Okay, the tier 4s, two tier 4s. Is that tier 4? She's got the backpack. I think that's a tier 4 Mirabelle. It's a 5-star. Oh no, okay. Get a 5-star first. Gonna take some hits. Dwight is getting targeted heavily. Don't have anything that can do it. I haven't got stun on attack with Glenn. I've got AP down, just a bit of a tanky weapon. Okay, okay. So here's the synergy I was talking about. So you do this rush, and then you follow up with Mirabelle's, and it should be reasonably decent follow up. You're gonna be able to. I mean, this is Carl, tier 4 Carl, mega defense. Pretty good. Yeah, I'm liking this so far. I'm liking this so far. We'll test him out as a leader. It's basically the same as Mirabelle, but they're gonna get higher defense instead of HP, which is, it's hard to know which one's going to be better in this case because their stats are so low. Where's my weapons? We'll go with this one on you and this one on you. Okay, and we'll try and find another Carl team, and then I'll try and find a red team because his debuff works against reds as well. Okay, we found a red team first. Oh, this is perfect. This is like Wanderer's Paradise basically. They don't have a command either, so this is really good. We'll see the sort of damage we're going to take. We won't take much damage just because they haven't got like an attack leader. Don't want to pop their rushes. Glenn is getting hurt. He's getting hurt. I kind of need to do Mirabelle's rush first now. And I can't. Okay, no one can rush. It's all good. It's all good. What I'm going to do is anti-stun so I don't just attack any of these guys. Hopefully they don't have all stun guns. No, they don't. Glenn's probably dead. I just did that so that I didn't attack with Mirabelle basically. We will... No? Okay. We'll have to impair you. Very annoying. Huge bonus, no stun guns, kind of fortunate with this. Not sure if I'm, you know, how the damage is, if I'm honest. Is he all range characters? Yeah, so still be getting the 40% attack. I mean, this was against tier 3s and tier 4s again. Okay, this is a pretty perfect team for the Wanderer. I did misread his rush as well. I was just checking up on it, and I didn't read it. It says all alert teammates. Well, I might have read it, like, fine, but I didn't really take it in. I assumed that it was 275% damage to up to 3 enemies, and those enemies got debuffed. But it's actually all team enemies get debuffs. It's a little bit better now. When I say all enemies, I mean all alert and strong enemies. So if you're coming up against a team like this, which is just alert and strong, you're going to debuff all of these guys. So it's really good to come up against for the Wanderer, basically. I managed to take someone out first turn. You get 1 stunned. You've got some stun guns. Attack down. Stun gun. I'll just go for Shiva. Okay. Okay, so I can debuff these now. Oof. So tier 1 maxed out. White just autoing. Doing 900 damage or whatever it was. That should be it. That should be it. Yeah, Wanderer is really nice. I'm liking this. Once they're tiered up a bit, I'm going to need quite a few night vision goggles because unfortunately 3 of those guys are hunters. But once he's tiered up a bit, I think it's going to be pretty good. What is this? Oh, struggle. It's going to be really, really nice. I've got Connor as a fast character, and I know how good he is. But this guy seems to be really good. It's only going to be useful, like mega useful against, I'd say, Carl teams and maybe Erica teams. I think those 2 teams, but I mean, a lot of people run those teams. It's just that soon enough, Erica's going to have a lot of tough characters behind her. But I think Carl teams generally will still run strong characters next to him. You know, Shivas, stuff like this. Just because, I mean, you saw the odd, alert character. Sorry, the odd fast character in there, but I mean, his rush is going to do damage regardless. So you can see it as a damaging rush, and the debuff's a bonus. The debuff's awesome though. So tell me what you guys think about the Wanderer. Are you going to ascend this guy? If you haven't got him in already, are you going to just like basically be praying that he comes up in your depot if you weren't already? Hopefully some of you guys get your hands on him. He does go for 28,000 supply depot tokens on an extreme sale. Full price is 40k. I'd say he's a really, really good character in terms of just the fact that he's in your depot, the fact that he debuffs. I think debuffers and buffers within this game are very, very underrated. And I think the Wanderer is a pretty nice character personally, from what I've used of him already. I think once I get him up the tiers and the synergy he will have with characters like Mirabelle, particularly Mirabelle, because obviously now that I know that it actually debuffs every character, not in terms of alert and strong, not just the 3 that it hits, Mirabelle's always going to be able to target one of those characters and at least, probably get another one. If it's a full red team, they're not going to do much damage. They're going to take huge amounts of damage if you run blues behind him. So, and his leader skill is all ranged as well, just like Mirabelle. So he's got a lot of potential to be a great support character. Even though he's seen as a damage dealer, I'd say he's more like support. The downside of him, just based on the fact that I think he's a support character, is he hasn't got support stats. He has got damage dealer stats. He's got 2k damage. If he had stats that were more in line with Connor's. Actually, I think Connor has quite heavy base damage as well. I'm not sure what his role is. His role is probably... Oh, no, there we go. It is support. So I think if it was stats like this for the Wanderer, and it's kind of around the same sort of rush, and this is why I thought it was only 3 enemies, because it's 3 enemies get minus 60% attack and 50% defense for 2 turns for Connor. They're very similar. I think they're very good. If you run melee characters and you like the Wanderer, but you don't have a ranged team, Connor's the other option for you. But yeah, I think he's a really good character. It's nice to see them getting into the next legacy list reasonably quick after the last character was released. Aaron and Laurie were last month, and we're straight into this month with the Wanderer. So, yep, that's the end of this video, guys. Do tell me what you think, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.